It's the Jake and Ben Show. 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 Oh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Jake and Ben Show. I'm Jake, and I'm here with Ben. Hello, Ben.
Oh.
We got some movie news for y'all today. We're gonna, the latter half of the show, we're gonna talk about some Creed. We're gonna talk about some Fantastic Beasts. But before that, we're gonna talk about some Mandalorian. We're gonna talk about some other Star Wars stuff. We got things to talk about. We got movies to talk about. We got people to talk about. And yeah, Ben's gonna take it from there.
Am I? Yes, I am.
Please.
Well, first off, how are you doing?
I'm tired, but I'm
You're tired.
all right. I'm all right.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's been a while since we've been here.
It's been a little
Trying
bit.
to arrange this. Yeah. Been busy. I've been busy.
Yeah.
Winding down this semester.
How's
final
it
semester
been?
in
Has it
college.
been going well, or does it suck?
Well, I mean, there's a lot that I can say. So, third year film, final semester. We're doing these dramas, and I'm editing. One of them, and we had our meeting with our teacher, and it was just an assembly, but I knew there were problems with it just looking at it, and I was like, man, when we meet with this teacher, it's gonna be shit. And yeah, ripped into us, and it was we got a lot of work to do, so that's fun.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, let's get away from that. Let's talk about some fun stuff. So, The Mandalorian. There's been some casting in this Mandalorian that I just would have never thought. Like, you tell me Gina Carano's in a Star Wars series that just, okay. I mean, sure, I trust in Jon Favreau, but somebody I would have never thought. And this is somebody I would have never thought. Nick Nolte. When I seen this, I texted you. I was like, Nick fucking Nolte in Star Wars.
Right.
Holy shit. Nick fucking Nolte. This is a cast that I won. Like, Pedro Pascal. I love him. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the lead. And we got Gina Carano. Sure, let's see what happens. Then Nick Nolte. I mean, not to sound like I'm shitting on Nick Nolte. It's just, I mean, he's been in stuff and he's a great actor. But what was the last thing he was in? I don't even remember.
I'll pull it up here. He's been in a couple movies this year, actually, but none of which I've heard of.
Okay.
Honey in the Head and The Padre. 220. Oh, he was in The Ridiculous Six.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, I think like when you told me Nick Nolte was in it, it wasn't like super over the moon, but it's just like a name that, everyone knows, even if he's not doing anything big these days. He's an older man, so he has like 100 movies under his belt or something like that, so he's a legend in that respect. So to add him to the cast of this already sat cast, it's cool for sure.
Yeah, I like seeing it because, I mean, when I think Nick Nolte, I think 48 Hours with, or is it 48? Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, it's 48 Hours.
I think of him. And let's throw this under rumor, but even hearing a possible Carl Weathers showing up in the show, I'm like, yo, you're taking all these guys that, like, yeah, Nick Nolte's doing stuff now, but not big stuff.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers, I don't remember the last thing he was in. I think it was Arrested Development. And guys I love, and more so Carl Weathers, I think of him as Apollo Creed. It gets me excited because these are guys I haven't seen in a while. Like, grew up watching these guys, and hey, they're going to be in Star Wars. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Just names I wouldn't have expected. And Carl Weathers, throw that under rumor bank. Where I kind of had that close to fake news, but I was like, I'm not going to put it there just from where I was hearing it from. And, where I've been seeing it from has been from the same guy who was saying about Pedro Pascal, and it's got some credibility. So I'm throwing Carl Weathers in the rumor bank. But hey, if that's the case, if you have Carl Weathers, Nick Nolte in a Star Wars show, let's do it.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't realize Carl Weathers played Chubbs in Happy Gilmore. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's all I got to add to that.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I seen this photo. And it was the Russo brothers, I think, posted. Maybe Jon Favreau did also, but it's on the set of The Mandalorian. It's Jon Favreau, Taika Waititi, Anthony and Joe Russo, and Peyton Reed, who directed Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. So you're seeing them all together, and it's like, hey, look at that. That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and it gets my my head floating of what they're doing there, which is probably just a visit.
Yeah.
The whole tie of the MCU. So Anthony and Joe Russo, they did a screening of Infinity War, and then for Collider, and they did a whole Q&A, and they were asked about being on set, and I think it was Joe Russo, maybe it was Anthony. I don't remember which one's which, but one of them had said that it was amazing. We went there to say hi to John. Taika was directing an episode, so we went to hang out with them. John is always at the forefront of cutting edge tech, and he is shooting this in a way that no one has ever shot anything ever before. It's pretty astounding. Now, hearing that, I mean, one thing that can just pop to my head is he just saying that because it's Jon Favreau? But then I think of the Jungle Book and now Lion King. I mean, Jon Favreau is, doing some cutting edge, tech stuff. And even when Bob Iger talked about this, was saying how this is going to be cutting edge tech. So what does that mean? I guess we won't know until next year, but it does get me excited. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's vague enough that you don't really learn much from it. And my question is, like, for the casual TV movie fan and whatnot, maybe even more than casual, will you even notice? Like, are you going to watch it and be like, wow, this is something I haven't seen before? Or is it more of like a behind the scenes thing? They did this differently, and this is a cutting edge way of doing it, but you don't actually notice a difference because, like you said, they're shooting it differently, like no one's done before. Is that something that even translates to the screen for the amateurish eye? I don't know. It doesn't really get my juices flowing too much, but it's interesting to hear. And it's what Jon Favreau did with the Jungle Book. It seems like what he's doing with the Lion King. He's cutting edge in that way, but like, again, even the Jungle Book, like, no one, like, your casual movie fan, they go to the theater and they watch it. They might not even realize what is going on behind the scenes. So there's that.
Yes, there is that. Now, I mean, what I think more of this is that this is television, and I think the biggest production we've seen in television is Game of Thrones. I've got to assume this is going to be bigger. It's Star Wars. We're in space.
We're in space, baby.
We're in space. So I've got to imagine for at least TV, this has got to be some cutting edge, as they say. So it gets me excited. I'm looking forward to it. And, his comments here in Taika was directing his episode. I seen a video of John and Taika doing rehearsals and just how excited they just seemed. It's like, that's cool. They're working on Star Wars and they're excited. They're into it.
That's good.
That's got to be awesome.
Yeah. I imagine just like anyone working on Star Wars would be excited about that. Like, the biggest franchise, arguably the biggest franchise in the world.
I mean, maybe if you ask Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they might have a different story.
True. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Good point. Alrighty.
But one would think, and one would hope.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, anyways, we've got another Star Wars show coming. I'm not sure if we talked about this yet, but it's Cassian Andor.
I think we briefly talked about it at one point. Or at least we've talked about it a couple times off air.
Okay, well, Cassian Andor, we've got this series coming to Disney Plus, which, hey, I'm excited for this Disney Plus. You got me already with the, Clone Wars Season 7. You got me with The Mandalorian, and hey, this is nice also. So Cassian Andor, it was announced we knew Diego Luna was coming back. We just didn't know who was going to be running the show. And we do know it's this guy, Stephen Schiff from The Americans, who I'll be honest here. I haven't seen The Americans. I've only heard of it. I don't know if he's the showrunner of the show or if he's just, producer and writer. I know he's written episodes. Now, what, when I think of this Cassian show, I assume it's going to be some spy story. I would think so. And from what I know of The Americans, it's a spy show. So to me, it just seems natural, but I haven't seen anything of The Americans that gets me excited for this. So as of now, cool. We got a showrunner.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I feel too. It's like, cool. We got a showrunner. I'm not familiar with them. I'm not familiar with their show, but you mentioned just some brief details about it, which is like, yeah, it makes sense. It's a fine fit, I imagine. but it's nothing that gets, like my expression I've used a couple times already. It's not getting my juices flowing too much. But yeah, it's fine. That's really all I feel about that. You know, I'm not disappointed, not over the moon. I'm just here chilling, being okay.
Okay. You can chill there. And be
okay. Yeah, my legs are up this episode for I think the second time in the Jake and Ben show history. So I'm more relaxed today. Okay, Ben.
Okay, we're relaxed.
Okay, here we are.
I think for the first time, usually I'm laying back, I'm relaxed. This time I'm upright. I'm right in front of this microphone. I got my two screens in front of me. Like I said to you, I'm working with dual screens now.
Yeah, it's nice. We both have dual screens. We're like NASA now. The Jake and Ben show may as well be NASA.
Moving on up.
All these screens. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Here we go.
I want to talk about something that made me a little sad.
Oh,
Just
no.
a little sad.
That's a weird sadistic thing then. You want to talk about something that makes you sad. That's got to be like
I do. I gotta talk
type thing. Okay.
I gotta talk to somebody about this.
Let's hear it.
I prepared for this moment, so I'm not as sad as I would be.
Okay. I'm ready.
Now, in 2015, Netflix, they dropped a show by the name of Daredevil.
Oh, yes.
It was fantastic.
I remember back in 2015. Yes. That was great. That was a great time for Marvel TV. It was Daredevil awesome. Launch, yes.
It was awesome because, yeah, we've had these superhero shows, but none of them were really all that great. We had some good ones here and there, but nothing that stood out as great. Daredevil drops, and man, I ate this up. I ate it up. It was so good. You had Vincent D'Onofrio as Fisk. He was amazing. Even this guy, Charlie Cox, was pretty good as Daredevil. I like it. And what I liked about the show was that it was more of a drama, grounded, gritty, and it was R-rated. It was an R-rated feel to it. I loved it. So we get to season 2 in 2016, and I'm curious what you have to say about that, because most people I talk to, they always say the Punisher stuff was amazing, the Elektra stuff wasn't. For me, being an Elektra fan, I ate up all the Elektra stuff, which made season 2 my favorite out of season 1, but those were neck and neck. However, I can't say the Punisher wasn't great, because he was fucking awesome in season 2, which is one of the reasons why it's my favorite season at the time of Daredevil. And to me, it one-upped itself. And the action, the choreography in this Daredevil was amazing. This is TV, you don't have as much time, maybe not as much of a budget, so you can't get these, spectacular fights. But they started with this hallway fight in season 1. They one-upped it in season 2, and season 3, they did some fucking amazing stuff with this, like a 15-minute or 10-minute oneer. It was just beautiful. And when I was watching this, I'm like, okay, this is going to be our hallway fight. 5 minutes in, I'm like, holy shit, we're still going. And then when we get to the 10-minute mark, it's like, what am I watching? Is this actually happening? It was beautiful. So season 3, I had to wait 2 years for it, because we had Jessica Jones, season 2, Iron Fist, then fucking Iron Fist. We had Luke Cage Defenders, and here's what gets me sad. So Luke Cage and Iron Fist, they got canceled, and to me, that wasn't a big surprise, because Luke Cage, I liked it for what it was, but it wasn't great. Iron Fist was pretty shit. I still didn't even know what to make of season 2, because it was better than season 1, but what the fuck did we do this for? Because there's a whole, spoilers for that. There's a whole thing with the fist of Danny Rand gets the fist stolen, and then he wants it back, and then he's like, I don't want this back. Colleen, you take it. And she's like, I don't want it. She ends up taking it, but then he gets 2 fists by the end of the show, and it's like, why did we even go through that? I don't know what to make of it. And those 2 got canceled. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But then I started preparing myself for what eventually happened with Daredevil getting canceled. It's sad. It's sad, because to me, Daredevil, it wasn't just a great superhero show. It was a great show. It was one of the better shows in the past 3-4 years. To me, it was that good.
Whew.
Iron Fist, get it out of here. Luke Cage, you can get it out of here. Jessica Jones, it's pretty good, but it was nowhere near the caliber of Daredevil to me. And even the Punisher, what they did with this Punisher series, my God, that John Bernthal was born to play the role of the Punisher. And hey, listen, To me, Jessica Jones is canceled. The Punisher is canceled. To me, it's done. However, we do have season 3 of Jessica Jones coming next year and season 2 of The Punisher, so get to look forward to seeing Jon Bernthal one more time, which that's not confirmed, but I've got to assume. So Daredevil season 3, I didn't have a chance to talk about it, but it was fantastic. It moved more into the drama elements and less action, but when the action hits, it's some of the best action you'll see on TV. It was just phenomenal. Wilson Fisk, fucking Vincent D'Onofrio, just like what I said to a pal of mine when we were talking about this set. Like, to me, the saddest thing of this getting canceled is not seeing Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk anymore. It's gonna be a sad time. What got me more charged up is that we wasted all these years on fucking Iron Fist. Like, we could have had 5 seasons of Daredevil in by now if we didn't waste our time with all the shitty shows. But hey, you ended off on a good note, and I gotta watch them all back to back to even say which one is my favorite. So I'll say season 2 is my favorite, but then I'll think season 1, I'm like, season 1, then now we have season 3. They're all that good. It's amazing. Do you have any plans to watch Daredevil season 3? Because earlier you said you haven't.
Yes, I still have not, but now you got me interested in seeing it. The thing is, like, when the Marvel TV series on Netflix just started up and we had Daredevil and we had Jessica Jones, I was on board. I dug the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. I like the Elektra stuff. I'm not one of those people that dislike that and like the Punisher. I like them both. I liked the first season of Jessica Jones. And then, I don't know if it was what it was that just made me not interested anymore. I didn't watch Iron Fist. I didn't watch Luke Cage. I didn't watch The Punisher. I haven't seen the second season of Jessica Jones. I haven't seen the third season of Daredevil. The only one I actually am interested in seeing is the third season of Daredevil, just because I've seen the first 2 seasons. There's just something not exciting about it anymore. I have a question for you though, Ben. Is the third season of Daredevil, does it have like a satisfying ending, or is it a cliffhanger? Is it open for more? Because it being canceled,
Yeah.
If I'm left on a cliffhanger, I don't even want to watch it.
I'll tell you what. So a few days, like maybe a week ago, the showrunner of season 3 was like, I'm going in to pitch season 4, fingers crossed. And, well, no season 4. Damn. And one of the writers of the show like was tweeting like, it fucking sucks. We were just in our writer's room. We had it all mapped out and fucking it was going to be awesome. And what the fuck? Yeah. And the thing is, I'll come back to that, but like Ted Sarandos, like a day before I think Luke Cage or Iron Fist got canceled and came out and was like, these are our shows to cancel. We can do it ourselves. Disney has no say on it. He didn't outright say Disney has no say on it, but that's pretty much what he said. And the next day they cancel Luke Cage or Iron Fist. And Netflix, like, I think they have like the licensing to like this iteration of these characters. If they wanted to, they could have continued with Daredevil or any of the ones they wanted to. But I mean, when I think of it with Disney Plus coming out, to me, it's probably Netflix. I mean, like, fuck you. We don't need you. We don't want to promote your product. So go fuck yourself.
Jesus.
To me, it's probably more of that. Marvel, they put out like a press release of, hey, we're proud of the show. And, sorry to the fans who won't be able to see it, but this isn't the last you'll see of Daredevil. And you'll see a new, version of him coming soon. So whether that's MCU or Disney Plus show.
Okay.
And not to say they can't knock it out of the park with the PG-13. Very much they can. And I know people are saying, hey, you're Disney Plus, they'll revive it on there. Bob Iger already said you're not going to see any R-rated content on Disney Plus, so throw that out the window for those shows. So I'm sure they can knock out a PG-13 Daredevil. They can. It was just nice to see this different flavor of Marvel.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, to get back to your question, does it end on a cliffhanger? It ends on a satisfying note. It does. But they also leave you with something that, hey, if we were to go, this is probably where we're going. But for season 3, they wrap it up pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay.
For it being its now series finale, it works.
Okay.
It works.
Okay.
And I'll give you that. It definitely works as a series finale.
Alrighty, that's good to know. That I mean, like, yeah, I don't know if I'll check it out. I've been wanting to watch like the Haunting of Hill House or whatever that show is. And,
Yes, I've heard a lot.
Yes,
I've only watched one
I'm
episode.
rewatching Game of Thrones again right now, so that's been
Yeah.
taking up my time. I also want to watch Westworld.
Yes,
So like TV's just like it's an investment, so I got to be very particular.
it is.
You know, so
Yes.
Westworld and that Haunting, that show. I want to watch those bad boys maybe before Daredevil season 3. But damn, I gotta catch up on my TV, Ben.
I have a question. Daredevil season 1 or season 2? Which one did you like more?
Okay. I'm gonna pick season 1, but I think it's
Okay.
just because it was so refreshing and new. In the Marvel landscape, you know, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
but maybe in retrospect, I rewatch them. I put them on the same field, but like I just remember season 1 being excited about a new take of the Marvel of the MCU. So I'm gonna say season 1 just for that reason. But yeah, like I said, I'm not one of the people that dislike the Elektra stuff. I actually quite liked it. So
Season 3, it's more on par with season 1.
okay,
Hmm.
I do
I mean,
think
thinking-
it suffers from being a little long. I do think the show,
Okay.
like season 2, felt maybe a tad, like a few episodes too long. Yeah. If I were to have a mate, like
Yeah,
a plate of some
I've
kind.
I've heard people say that with the Marvel shows, and to me, I feel like that with all of them except Daredevil and Punisher. Maybe give or take an episode here or there. Something I heard, I don't know if there's any truth behind this, but Netflix wanted to do 10 episodes for Daredevil season 3. They did 10 for Iron Fist season 2. From what I heard, Marvel was more, no, let's keep it 13. Netflix wanted 10, so I mean, take that how you will.
Okay.
For me, the 13 episodes worked very well in season 3, except maybe one episode I happen to like it, but I know people who haven't, and I can understand because it's more of answering a question of season 1 that at this point we don't really need the answer to. However, I do think it is still a good episode. With that, maybe that's the only episode you could pull out and where we'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But to
Okay.
me, season 3, it's on par with season 1, maybe a little better, and they don't go to the supernatural type stuff that they did in season 2.
Okay. Okay.
So Daredevil on Netflix, rest in peace. I will miss you.
R.I.P. Gone too soon.
Yes, gone too soon.
Alrighty.
Gone too soon.
What's up next, Ben?
You know what? I'm gonna mention something here quick.
Do it.
'Cause this is something that I've been scratching my head. I don't understand it. Maybe you can help me understand. Is this Venom? Is this fucking Venom? It's made 843 million worldwide. As of now, it's still making money. It's definitely the most profitable Spider film from Sony. $100 million budget. It's not too far off from catching Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't think it'll catch Spider-Man 3, but hey, you never know. It's how did this movie make that much money? Help me understand.
I don't know. It is bizarre. I don't know. People love their superhero movies. I mean, like, no matter the quality, people love their superhero movies. All these movies make a shit ton of money. You know, I don't know.
I just don't know.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
I mean, like,
China helped them out. China, it had 107 million opening in China. It's made 241 as of now, which is already more than what it made domestically, which was 212 million. Still very good, but China is definitely helping Venom out a lot.
yeah, I
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I don't know.
Which, you know, something to talk about. Sony slated 2 Spider-Verse films for 2020. To me, I think, because there was one new one and one sequel. The new one, I think it's this Morbius film with Jared Leto. And the sequel, I've got to assume it's Venom 2. They also did say that there's going to be a female, like, when I say Spider-Verse now, I'm meaning Into the Spider-Verse. There's going to be like
Ooh, I want to see
a
that.
Gwen Stacy and Spider Woman one after this,
Okay.
which Haley Steinfeld voices Gwen Stacy, and their reviews came out for that. It's been overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, I'm
I've
so
heard
excited
nothing
for
but
it.
great things.
Yeah, I'm so excited now. I
Yeah,
was excited, but even hearing like these
Yes.
nothing but
Yeah.
excellent things, it's like wow.
Yeah, it gets me more excited. I wasn't at first for this film. The more I saw of it, I'm like, okay, I can get into this. They showed that little bit after Venom. I'm getting more into it.
That
and
was weird. I forgot about that. That was super weird.
It was weird, but hey, you know what? You're Sony. This is your universe. I guess that's a place to put it.
Ugh.
And I'm
Completely
curious
forgot about
what, like, so it's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We got Miles Morales and a bunch of different Spider-Men. Are we gonna
Yeah.
have little Easter eggs of all the other Spider-Men out there?
What do you mean? All the other Spider-Man out
Like
there?
maybe, hey, are we gonna get some Easter egg to the '90s cartoon? Hey, maybe even the '60s cartoon.
Shit.
Are we gonna have any Easter eggs to Spider-Man PS4? Are we gonna have any Easter eggs to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man?
That'd be
Are we
cool.
getting any of that?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice.
Yeah,
Nice little-
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and that comes out in a couple weeks, and
Yeah, excited
it was
for that.
tracking for around 35 million, I think, to around 40. Which that was before reviews started coming out. It is coming out in a time of there's a shitload of stuff coming out. Aquaman, Mary Poppins, Bumblebee. I think it comes out a week
Damn,
before all
there's
that.
Still a bunch
it's,
of movies
stacked.
this year.
Yeah, and within all that, there's Once Upon a Deadpool, which hey, a trailer, TV spots came out for that. Looks fun. I hope it comes here so I can see it.
Yeah, me too. I got it. I want to see that. That looks like it's a worthy time. I still there's a bunch of movies I want to see. Have you heard of The Favorite?
I have with Emma Stone.
Yes, I want to see that so
Yes.
badly. It's playing in Toronto on the 5th of December, but I'm not going to Toronto for it.
I know. I hate fucking.
I'll go to Oakville.
Oh.
I go to Oakville sometimes for movies, but I'm not going to go to Toronto.
So even then, I just don't like making big trips to go
Yeah.
see movies.
Like I made a big trip. I saw The Shape of Water in Oakville, and I saw Killing of a Sacred Deer in Oakville, because those were two movies that I wanted to see so damn badly that I'll drive like an hour for them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I got to see, what are some other movies out right now? I got to see. I got to see.
Well, you
Creed
gotta see Creed 2. You
Yeah,
have
that's
to,
next
yeah.
up. Creed 2.
With that Green Book. Is it
Oh
Green
yeah,
something?
yeah, the Green Book. Yeah, I want to see that
Yeah.
too. I know nothing about it. I just know it's got some awards talk. Hey, I just
Yeah.
got an ad for it. I'm looking at movies out right now.
Hey,
I just got an
look at
ad
that.
for it. Perfect. Yeah, Green Book. I want to see that. Do you have any interest in seeing Robin Hood?
Oh no.
No, me either.
Yesterday, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, this guy saw Robin Hood," and I was like, "Fuck it, yeah, he must have been the only one. Who is seeing this movie?
Yeah,
Who cares
I know.
about this movie?"
Yeah, I thought, I was curious before the reviews came out, but it's just like I'm not gonna spend that money just based on my previous curiosity when it.
I
does-
was curious until I seen the trailer, and it just looks like the shitty Green Arrow.
Okay. Yeah. No, it didn't look that great. It doesn't look great. Ralph Breaks the Internet. It's another one I want to see. God damn it, I'm slacking. Boy Erased. I want to see that. Yeah, I'm slacking.
I haven't. Yeah, Beautiful Boy. Has that come out yet?
Beautiful Boy, I don't think has come out yet. I don't think, but don't quote me on that. Boy Erased
Okay.
and Beautiful Boy. I want to see them both. Man. Gotta see these movies.
Yes, and in a couple of weeks, there's going to be even more.
God
even more.
damn it.
Which hopefully I'm not going to be. I will not be busy for Aquaman and Bumblebee. I can make
Yeah,
that promise. And
yeah.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Mary Poppins fan.
Yeah.
There were early reactions that came out that said Emily Blunt's awesome. I've seen mostly positive things. Some being like, "Yeah, it's Mary Poppins, not my thing."
Okay. Interesting. Do we have any other stories we gotta talk about?
No, because I'll tell you why.
All right.
I want to talk about Fantastic Beasts. I want
Okay.
to talk about Creed 2.
Yep. Yep.
Because it's been a couple weeks, but we still got to talk about them.
Yeah.
And first off,
Okay.
seeing Fantastic Beasts 2, whatever the title is.
The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah, there we go. So, when the trailers came out for this, I'd only seen the first one once. I liked it when I seen it. When I seen the trailer for this, I was like, this just seems like the first one, and are we just ignoring everything that happened in the first one? When we see this one, they address some things that happened, but in a way that's like, okay, then what were the stakes of the first one then? Why do I care what happens if you're just gonna, do that again? So things happen in this, and then I'm like, I don't care because I cared before and kind of switched on that now. Now, why? Let me take a step back. Harry Potter. I'm not a big Potterhead, however, I liked the movies. I seen all of them in theaters up until 5. After that, I stopped seeing them in theaters, and then after Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out on Blu-ray, I watched them all that I didn't see in theaters after that. I couldn't tell you anything about Harry Potter or the plots of them or what was what.
I get that.
Wasn't 1 there was some chess match, 2 there was the snake or something, big snake.
Yeah.
3, I remember 3 being good. I just don't remember what happened in 3.
3's the time travel one with
See, was that the one where Hermione had a thing where they couldn't be seen or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. 4, there was a maze in 4, right?
Yeah.
I just remember a maze.
Yeah.
Okay. 5.
5 is Order of the
I remember.
Phoenix,
It started off
right?
with didn't it start off with a swing? It was very dark, and he's on a swing, and he's getting bullied.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember that. I just don't remember what goes on in there.
That's the Order of the Phoenix one. That's where the one woman comes in and makes all the rules.
Okay, is that the one where there's the climax is in a library or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and the things are all falling or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now when we get to 6.
Is that the Half-Blood Prince?
6?
Half-Blood
I think
Prince,
so. I think so. And this is when they're starting to go on the run or something. Are they on the run? They're in a farm?
Yes, and they all
Aren't
pretend to be. They all pretend to be Harry. I think they all.
Okay.
Is that this one or no? That's Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Okay.
I'm not. I remember this one being the depressing looking one. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 7 was Deathly Hallows Part 1. Correct.
Correct.
What happens in this movie? Doesn't Harry Potter die in this one?
He dies in Part 2, doesn't he?
Okay.
And he comes back or something?
How does he come back?
I don't remember. It's been a hot minute, and
okay.
I'm not super I've seen them all. Well, I've seen the first 2 multiple times because I watched them when I was younger, as Christmas movies even. But 3 to Deathly Hallows Part 2, I've only seen the one time. I marathoned them when I got my wisdom teeth out.
Okay.
So I don't really remember, and I'm not a big Potterhead. There's a lot of shit going on in those movies, a lot of characters, so
yes, there is.
It's hard to recall if you've only seen it the one time, a few years ago. So, but I do remember enjoying pretty much all of them.
Yeah, I remember enjoying most of them. I just don't remember anything that happened. And with not being a Potterhead, why I say this is that. So we get to Fantastic Beasts. I can understand what's going on. I get it. We're a prequel, and Eddie Redmayne, he's the lead of the film. I get that. We get to the Crimes of Grindelwald.
Grindelwald.
Yeah, when Johnny Depp was revealed, it's a good reveal. I'm okay, and I'm let's see what happens. And when watching this film, I'm okay, Johnny Depp is pretty good until I realize this movie's about Johnny Depp and fucking he doesn't do anything. That's when I'm okay, well, all right. Eddie Redmayne, is he the lead of this film?
I don't know, and I don't even think they know.
Well, that is my thing. I don't think... Okay, so J.K. Rowling, she wrote the books, didn't write the screenplays for the Potter films. She wrote the screenplay for these.
Yeah.
She needs a partner or something, because I don't think she writes good scripts at all.
This movie I get that.
It was just a mess.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it wanted to do, and by the time we get to the climax, it's that's all we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I get it, for sure.
What bothered me in the trailers of just ignoring everything that happened, you ignore it, and when we get to here, you're oh, yeah, well, yeah, that just happened. And then certain characters, the way they come...
Yeah. It's not much of a spoiler. That you've seen the trailers for Grindelwald. You know that Newt's right-hand man and his lady I don't remember either of their names, but you know they're back
Yeah.
in this.
Yes.
And you know that you must assume that he somehow has his memory back from the first one because they're friends again.
Exactly.
And the way they explain that away is bizarre to me.
I totally agree. Let me bitch about something real quick, and then I'll get back to more of the... So John Williams did the score for the first 3 Potter films. Now, John Williams did what John Williams does, and he made an iconic theme
Great
score.
Yeah, I love the Harry Potter theme.
It's amazing. John Williams did what he does. Now, when we get to Fantastic Beasts, I get it's a new franchise, but we hardly hear his music. Why are we doing that? We had good composers for these films, but where's the John Williams? Where is the... When I watch a Potter film, and I know it's not Harry Potter, but it's in the universe, I want to feel like I'm there, and part of that is the music, and I don't get that.
Yeah, well, these, like, the magic of the first few Harry Potter movies is not... I found, like, the first few had magic, especially when I was younger and I was seeing that for the first time. These movies do not have any of that.
Nope.
These are far less inspired. They do have the theme in Grindelwald, and if it's cool, it's nice hearing it. But I think in the context of the movie, it's just like the only satisfying thing about it is that it's the song. Like in the story, it's kind of underwhelming. It's just like these. Okay, you know what? I saw the first Fantastic Beasts in theaters, and I was like, it's okay. I rewatched it for the second time before I went to see Grindelwald, and I liked it more than I remembered. I was like, oh, this first Fantastic Beasts, it's not bad. I actually enjoyed it, and then I saw the second one, and it's a drag to get through. It's just, I was like, when is this thing going to be over? I don't care about anything. Like, they introduce all these new characters, like this mysterious man with this infection in his eye, which doesn't really mean anything about anything. It's just there. And Newt's brother. And all the characters are just so uninteresting. I don't even think Newt is a great protagonist at all. I think he's bland and boring. And they don't know what to do with him because he's just kind of kicked to the side. I don't know. I don't know.
That's the big thing with this film. When I seen it, I texted you. I was like, I think I liked it, but it was like listening to someone with a foreign language have a conversation, and it seems like they're having a good time. I just don't know.
Oh, that's an interesting metaphor.
Because the thing with this film, they're speaking a different language, and they're not helping me out at all.
Okay.
With the first one, it's surface level. I can understand. And the thing with when you have a hardcore fan base, like with being in the hardcore Star Wars fan base, like you'll hear people say, can we just get like a sweaty film that's just very like for the hardcore lovers? Yeah, sure, I would like that. But then when you have somebody that doesn't know anything that's going on, they're going to be lost and it's going to take away from it. I didn't know anything that was going on. There were words being spoken that I know this is supposed to mean something. I just don't know what it means. There's characters in there that are big within the Potter universe. I just don't know who the fuck are you? What are we doing? What's important? I don't get it.
Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
The thing I heard Mark Ellis say this. He said, this movie could be great. I just don't know. I don't know. Because I don't get it. I need somebody to break it down.
Interesting. Yeah, I think seeing the other Harry Potter movies recently and just being engrossed in that universe would help a lot with this movie. My girlfriend who I saw it with is a big Potterhead. And when we watched the first Fantastic Beasts beforehand, we talked about Harry Potter and things. So I'm kind of aware of the main names and the main ideas of this whole universe. So I wasn't completely lost. It's just this movie, there's a lot of like big exposition dumps, and a lot of it is just names and that kind of thing. And I get where you're coming from. It's just I think they should hold your hand a little bit more for this kind of thing. And I think they also need to just make it more engrossing. Like, if they're gonna throw all these Wizarding World things at you, you have to be engaged in one way or another to actually care about even learning it. Like, there's nothing exciting or passionate or fascinating about the movie that makes you want to learn and fully engross yourself in the world. It's just super surface level. All of this movie is very surface level, and it's just, it feels like it's made on an assembly line. I know that's a movie critique cliche, but it very much so feels like that. It feels very uninspired. I feel like David Yates is just burnt out.
Yeah, again, along with at least a partner for J.K. Rowling, he's directed
He's got to be
the
done.
Potter films, but get rid of this David Yates. It doesn't seem
yeah.
like he has it in him, like you said.
There's the passion is gone, and you can tell, like, you have to be burnt out when you've made this many films in the same universe. Like, I couldn't imagine still having that drive and that passion, because even if he does have it, it doesn't show on screen.
And I seen this interview with one of the producers of this film, and he was talking why they made the change to make this 5 movies instead of 3. And like he had said, oh well, we didn't want to milk the audience, but we were like, why can't we just bring it out to 5? This franchise, it definitely would have helped if it was 3. I don't know how we're going to 5, especially how we end this one, because it ends in such a bland, anticlimactic way that if you don't wrap this in 3, what are we doing? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And one of the things about this film, to me it seemed like they watched The Empire Strikes Back and was like, how can we do that? And they just missed the mark completely, because you get this whole storyline of who are my parents. And then you're like, here's the answer. And then, no, it's not, because here's this answer, but here's that answer. But no, it's not because of this. And then when we get to the end, I've got the answer for you. And you're like, this just seems like a fucking bad joke already. What are we doing? And then when it's revealed, I'm like, I mean, the name's cool, but
it means nothing.
Was this even
to
a
me.
thing? Yeah. Like,
yeah. The only interesting thing about it is the name, but I'm just like, okay, but what's his relation to anything or anyone? Like, I get the name, but where does he fall?
It seems like it was just the name because of who that name is. It wasn't because of anything.
You know what though?
Creative.
What's that actor's name? I'm blanking. Let me get it. What is it?
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller is a fantastic
and I feel
actor,
bad for him.
and I feel bad for him.
Exactly. Yeah, he's so great, and he's wasted in these films.
Yeah, I like especially rewatching the first one. I forgot, like, he's really good. He's a big part of that first one, and he's excellent in it. This one, I feel like everyone's kicked to the side. It's bizarre how they decide who gets what screen time. I don't know. Everyone feels very underwhelming, but even then, hey, I think he's still great. And I feel bad for him. Just like, he just kicked to the side, and it could be so much better. But he's still owning it. He's all there, and I have respect for him for that. He's great.
With watching these first 2 films, this really should be his franchise. I get why you need an Eddie Redmayne in the lead, but this should be his franchise.
I like him more
and
than Eddie Redmayne, like, as a character.
Oh, far more.
Sure.
I like him far more.
Yeah.
But I understand why you have Eddie Redmayne as the protagonist.
Right.
To me,
he's far less
Ezra,
conflicted and depressing.
Like, like, if this should be Ezra's story, and he's just, like you said, pushed to the side. And the thing, what bugged me about Grindelwald is that the second movie was all about this. He's supposed to be the baddest of the bad. But like,
he kills a couple people, maybe.
Yeah, and like, sure, that's supposed to make him menacing. And then when we get to the end, and he, like, the thing is, when you have your, like, climax, you don't need a huge Battle of Wakanda. We don't need that.
Right.
We don't even need, like, the Deathly Howls, the whole fucking everything's coming down. You don't need that, but I need to be interested somehow. And then ultimately, what this one character does that you're introduced to, did that really happen because of what happened to Ezra Miller? I don't know if I should care.
You shouldn't care.
Well, that's where I came down, is because I feel like I'm supposed to care, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And because of what you did with Ezra Miller, I just think that's not going to have any consequence of what happened.
I like how vague we're trying to be about.
I mean,
everything.
But like, it's been what, 3-4 weeks. I mean, I guess we could.
Well, we've gone this far, so let's not.
Yeah.
We've already
okay
went through this whole review not saying anything. It'd be kind of silly to just.
And you know, it was nice going back to Hogwarts, and like, the more I thought about this, you don't need one of these films to take place there to have the magic. And like, a part of the magic was definitely John Williams' score, but there was also the magic within it that made it interesting. It's just so uninteresting, like you said, just uninspired. Like, what are we doing here? I don't get it. If this is supposed to be in the Harry Potter world, let's have the magic to it. It just feels like we have wands, we have these words. People like Harry Potter, and here we go.
Yeah. Yep. It's got.
Like, I don't get the consequence behind this, because this Grindelwald, he was supposed to be the baddest of the bad before Voldemort. Am I correct? He's the reason why shit's like crazy. I don't feel that. I don't feel any consequence. He's not that bad. No. Yeah, and I don't feel any consequence to what's going on. And I don't like being in these just like cities. Like maybe the human, whatever they call the just regular humans in this world, it's kind of taken me out of it. It's kind of taken me out.
Yeah, that's kind of been a thing with like the Harry Potter movies, or at least this movie for sure. Is like the nomads is what they call them in this world, or the Muggles. Their world is like oddly parallel to the magic world, and I have a hard time knowing what they can see and what they can't see, and how much they understand about the magic world. Like there's the thing where they go into that statue, and the statue moves, and you have to like get the guard to not look, and then the statue moves. Like, do people see that statue move like that? What's stopping them from not seeing it? When all those like drapes and whatever the fuck that was on all the buildings from Grindelwald, like who sees this, and what do the nomads know about magic? Like, to what extent? Because I know like in Harry Potter, like it's all secretive, right? Like no one knows about it, I think, or at least no one knows to the extent of it. I'm not 100% sure, and I've never really been 100% sure, and this movie doesn't help that. It just, all the whole mythos and everything is very wishy-washy in these movies. Not necessarily the Harry Potter ones, but just this one. I was just confused with like, and like when Newt's doing the magic, like, which was very super ex machina, like, okay, that's convenient, where he sees like the feather or whatever the fuck it was when he's like being detective. Can everyone see that? I just don't understand the rules. And I wish I understood the rules. At the beginning when they're transporting Grindelwald on like a buggy, why? Can't you all teleport? Right. I don't get why they do things sometimes and not other times. I don't know. It's a weird criticism to have. It's just like, I just want some concrete rules to this world that I can get behind, so I can understand stakes and whatnot. And I don't really.
When I think back to Harry Potter, like I said, I already have a hard enough time even thinking what we did in those films. But like scenes stick out to me, and we're in Hogwarts for most of the time. So when we leave and you see, like, I'm thinking of a scene right now, and it's got to be somewhere between 5 or 6, maybe even the first, Deathly Hallows, of when they're in some apartment in like England, and then somebody like catches them and they're flying on, they're the broomsticks and they're going away. Very bad explanation of the scene, but like it was interesting because we spend so much time in Hogwarts, and now we're on the run, shit's going down. Okay, I get it. But if it's just, we're in the sky, here's Grindelwald, he's bad, care.
Right, exactly. Like, Harry Potter earned it. They earned it over the course of a franchise. Yeah,
they did. They built towards what they were doing. Here, we haven't built towards what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know who I'm supposed to care about. And, I mean, even to the reveal itself, why... Did I hear about that in the Harry Potter films? Which, I feel like
what is it?
The reveal with who's
with Dumbledore and Grindelwald, or who? No. Ezra Miller is.
Well, hey, even that. Is there just a thing if they say, "Hey, we're not going to fight and we're going to put blood in some lock"?
Yeah, I haven't heard. No, I don't think that's been heard. Is that a thing? I don't think that's a thing that ever happened in this world that I know of, anyways. It's convenient that it's like, ooh, it's a physical object we can possibly destroy in future movies.
Right.
It's not just like a spell or any type of thing like that. So, it's an actual physical thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind too much. I don't mind. It's just convenient.
That's all. The reveal, the big reveal in this film, that's not that, the other one, of the name. Wouldn't the character in Harry Potter, of which that name, hey, if you've seen it, you got to know what I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that character have said something in conversation within the Harry Potter films of such a big thing that went down, of why of why you should, I guess essentially be a good teacher, not fucking give up on kids.
Right.
Because that, I mean, I feel like for that character, that has to be significant,
Yeah.
especially when he finds out.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think, but that's just like the dangers of making a prequel. Like,
Yeah.
same thing happened with the Star Wars movies. Like, you just open up like, why have characters not discussed this? Why have they not passed this wisdom on, kind of thing? It's like this was a big part of their life. Yeah, it's the dangers of prequels, and yeah.
Here's what scares me for 5 movies.
Okay.
The way this ends, they set you up for this big third movie of 2 people versus 2 people. It's going to be a big battle, one would assume.
Huge.
If this was a trilogy, you're setting up for a big finale. If you set this up and we don't do it in movie 3, I think I'm giving up on this franchise.
Wow. Okay.
Because you set it up for this big third film. If we don't resolve things in that big third film, what are we doing in 4 and 5?
Yeah, I imagine that there's going to be some new angle to it in 3 that will make 4 and 5 worth it. But you're right. Like, they set up like this is like the final showdown. Like, this is like the Hobbit Battle of the 5 Armies. The next one with these people. I get what you're saying. I imagine that there's a new spin to it or to something.
Well, yeah, they're gonna have to.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't know if
I don't
care
know
if
if
we
I don't
have David
care.
Yates and J.K. Rowling. Like,
Yeah.
this guy Steve Kloves, who wrote most of the scripts for the Potter films. Like, that's a name I wouldn't have remembered, but seeing what J.K. Rowling has done with these films, I think of him and like that guy for writing Potter scripts. He's the guy. I know there were the books, and I know she's the one that created all of this. But hey, George created Star Wars, and I'm not.
Yeah,
a fan
it's
of
a whole
prequels.
different beast. Creating the world, writing the novels versus writing the screenplay. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I bring up George. George had Lawrence Kasdan writing, as a partner for Empire, Return of the Jedi. It was all him. Come the prequels, and hey, for better or worse, I like the stories, don't like the execution. I don't know if I like these stories, and I definitely don't like the execution of 2.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
I think that's all.
Yeah, just get some new minds behind the third one. Just get rid of give JK someone else to help her write. David Yates, get him out of there. Just something to breathe new breath. Like, something has to breathe some new life into this franchise.
Do you think we'll ever go back to Harry Potter?
Like something to follow the Deathly Hallows Part 2?
Like, maybe like the Force Awakens of Harry Potter.
I won't say no.
Because
I
wasn't
think
there
it's
a
totally
book
possible.
or
Yes,
something
there
of
was
the Cursed
a
Child?
Yeah, the Cursed Child. It wasn't a book. It was like a stage play or something in like novelization form, but it wasn't like a direct novel sequel to Deathly Hallows. Yeah, and apparently Harry Potter fans weren't too happy with what they did. Yeah, I can't speak for everyone though, but that's just what I heard. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this shit.
Yeah,
Let's
you know
move
what
on.
I'm not done with? You know what I'm not done with, but somebody else might be? It's Creed 2.
Okay.
Creed 2.
All right.
Now, with this film, you haven't seen it. I have. It's been a week and a bit since it's been released, and it's made some money. I believe it had the highest opening through Thanksgiving for a live action film. It came second under Wreck-It Ralph 2. It made $55 million within the third Tuesday to Sunday, but it made $35 million opening weekend. It's made 92, and it's, we're on pace to beat Creed 1 for box office. So that's just numbers out of the way. We got the Dragos coming back. We have this guy Stephen Caple Jr., no Ryan Coogler. We got Stallone, and let me tell you, when I watched this film, it was the latest I've went to a movie. I usually don't go to the 10 o'clock ones. So what I found interesting, this theater is packed, like almost sold out. This was the most just dead crowd I've ever been to for a movie that packed. Like, I think when I seen Deadpool, I did the the double feature screening of Deadpool 1 and then go right into Deadpool 2. There weren't that many people in this theater, but they were alive. Everybody was just dead.
Is that a good thing or bad thing?
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if these were just people like, hey, it's late, let's go see a movie, but it was filled. Just people were just dead. I felt like I was the only one there getting into it. Like, I was way into it. But why I say that is not so much the crowd, but I watched it through a lens of a spoiler. But like, the thing is, it's not a spoiler because to me it was never going to be a thing. The only reason why I thought of it because I heard somebody say, well, hey, I think this is going to happen. And then suddenly, I guess that turns into a spoiler if you think that's going to happen. But to me, it's really not the way they end the first Creed. So, I mean, I cannot say it or I can. It has to do with what I didn't want to happen in this film. If you remember what I didn't want to happen.
Is what you not wanted to happen Rocky dying?
Yeah, that would be it. And I watched this film through the lens of, is Rocky going to die? Because this is something I don't want to see.
All right, I don't want to hear about that.
Okay. I won't answer that.
Yeah, don't.
Watching it through the lens of that kind of muddied what I was doing because...
Is that all you're thinking about?
That's all I'm thinking about, and I couldn't enjoy what was in front of me.
Wow, okay.
So, when it opens up, already, big fan of this Rocky franchise, I'm thinking, how are we going to open up Creed 2? Because Rocky 2, it opens up, we get the, Rocky 2 comes through, and then we're opening up with the final fight. So I'm like, how are we going to open up Creed 2? And then, in any franchise, everybody overthinks things, and they open it the way Creed 1 opened, except we open up with the Dragos. Perfect setup. And the Dragos, the thing, when it was announced they were coming back, Rocky 4, it's a very cheesy film, but the perfect cheese. Perfect cheese. Definitely
cheese. Goat's
perfect
cheese.
cheese.
Perfect
yeah.
cheese.
It's like, you could ask me today, I might say Rocky 4 is my favorite. It's always evolving, which is my favorite. I love the film. To me, it's classic. And I love Drago. So I was excited, but then you have the people, what's this film going to be like? Because Creed, we're in reality here. We don't have any cheese. So you're bringing in the Dragos, what could that be? To me, I'm like, hey, that's the perfect amount of drama in there. We have this Adonis Creed. You have this guy, Drago, coming in who killed his dad. Come on. That's just perfect right there in itself. So, Dragos come in, and it's the perfect blend. It's a sequel to Rocky 4 and also sequel to Creed. And it's the perfect blend of Rocky 4 and Creed. It's a nice blend. You have some, I'm going to say cheesy moments if you don't know what these moments mean. If you know what these moments mean, I don't think they're cheesy. Because there's some cameos in here that are, there was one that I was like, there's no way we're doing this. That can't be that person. And then it is, and I'm like, wow. And for reasons why, I'm not going to name the person because it's a spoiler, but there's reasons of why I'm like, there's no way that this cameo is going to happen because of real life things that happened. But no, the cameo happens, and it's just so good. Now, Dolph Lundgren, he's amazing in this film. When I said my theory, which, hey, it's probably new people, they don't know what this theory is. I'm not going to say it. You know it. It doesn't happen. I get some things right, and let me say, I guess it happens, but in the way I didn't predict. If that's the best way to say it. So it didn't. My theory wasn't right. However, some things within it are, and some things happened in different ways. So, with that being vague enough, I love this film. To me, it turned into an episode of This Is Us in the best way possible. I want a sequel to this film that has nothing to do with boxing. That is just, give me the guy who does Dan. What's the guy? Let me look up This Is Us. This Is Us. Who's the creator? This Is Us creator. Because this guy, what's his name? Dan Fogelman. Get Dan Fogelman and give me a sequel to this movie that is like This Is Us. Because it turns into a good episode of This Is Us towards the end. Funny. It is, yeah.
So, Creed 1 or Creed 2 then, Ben?
Okay, you know what? On the spot, Creed 1 is a better film. Like, Rocky 1 is a better film than most of the Rocky films.
Okay.
I might say entertainment value, I'm taking Creed 2. The attention to detail, to the franchise, it opens up with, well, not the open. When you first see Adonis Creed, he's in a scenario where I immediately thought of the first one and something that happens in the first one, and it's acknowledged in this film. Like, hey, I was just thinking that, and you just said it. That's funny. And then Rocky is here, and he gives another amazing performance, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't know if he's going to get nominated for an Oscar, but I mean, come on, biggest thing.
Was he nominated for Creed?
He was nominated for Creed, and that was fucking. Can't believe he didn't win. That guy from that Spielberg film, what's it? Mark Rylance.
Right, I remember.
He was good.
Right,
he was good,
right,
but
right.
I mean, that was Stallone should have won. That would have been perfect if he had won. The greatest reaction I seen was Michael Rappaport. He had this video after Sly lost, and he was freaking out, and that's exactly how he felt. I don't think he's gonna get a nomination for this, but hey, it'd be nice if he did, because he is fantastic. And Stallone, is that a spoiler?
Yeah.
He put it on his Instagram, so is that really? Huh. Okay.
I don't want to know.
I'll say this without context.
Okay.
Stallone put out an Instagram video and then a bunch of posts saying how this probably will be the last time he plays Rocky. And to me, it
I think this whole you've been hinting at him dying a bunch, and I'm scared. I think he dies, and I think you spoiled that. I don't know. We'll see.
I see. You'll have to see the movie, and people who have, they might be, they know what happened.
Okay.
So all the Rocky films, I think all the Rocky films end on such a way that could be the end. And I'm gonna praise Rocky 5 here for a moment. It's the worst Rocky film. Definitely. It's a shit film. Definitely. Rocky 5 was it was created before Creed. If Creed was just a terrible film, that's what Rocky 5 is. Rocky 5 is if Creed was really just a Rocky, film. It's no good. However, it reset a lot of things and brought us back into the world which we love of Rocky. There would be no Rocky Balboa, which was Rocky 6 without Rocky 5. There would be no Creed without Rocky 5. There'd be no Creed 2 without Rocky 5. So as bad as that was, it helped us out a little bit. And that's a movie even where, I don't like it, but it ends on, a nice note for Rocky. Creed ends on a perfect note for Rocky. This ends on a perfect note for Rocky, but, Stallone has, I feel like he's always said this is his last one until he reads the script and then he's back. Rambo was supposed to be done, yet they're filming Rambo 5, which, hey, I'm excited for. Can't wait for that. So, I want to talk about this film with you, but you haven't seen it. And I don't want to give things away. So here's what I'll say. The weaker points of it is that the pacing can be off sometimes. There's a lot going on in this film. And the fight choreography, it's not as good as Creed. It's not. However, the fights are still good. That's not to say they aren't, but the choreography in Creed was just phenomenal. This is still good, but it's less about the fight and more of what the fight means. Which I guess, Creed... The fight was what the fight means, but even then, it was more of the fight.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe next week I can watch it and we can spoil it.
Yeah, because I would like to go deep on it, because this film, what I said to you was, it's not the best film of the year, but it might be my favorite of the year. It's just, it does a fantastic job, and Michael B. Jordan's coming into his own. He's a bigger star now. He's, he's becoming more of Creed. He's becoming more of Creed, and I can definitely see where, there's a point in this film where, I'll say the line without any context to it, where Rocky says to Creed, it's your time now. And it definitely can be. I want to see Creed 3. I want to see Creed 4. Give it to me. Mm-hmm. Michael B. Jordan, he's awesome. He's coming. Tessa Thompson is just amazing also. And the actress who plays his mom, she's phenomenal. Just the performances are great. Stephen Cable, fantastic. If it were announced he's coming back for Creed 3 and not Coogler, I'm fine because he did an awesome job. I didn't know how much of a Rocky fan he was. He was on Collider Live, and I watched his interview there. And just to hear him talk about what Rocky means to him, and just the attention to detail into this film. And one of my complaints of Creed was, hey, what about Rocky's son, Robert Balboa. I mean, when all this happens, it seems like that would have been such a big thing. And he pointed out there is a line in Creed in which he mentions Robert, and it does play a factor into this film, which is why I like Creed, the first Creed, even more now, because we've acknowledged that. So there was a lot going on in here, and hey, to me, this film was just it was a very good episode of This Is Us.
That's so funny to me. I gotta, I'm not like super, I'm even at all into the Rocky movies. I haven't seen them. So you think I'll still like Creed 2?
I think you'll like Creed 2. You just won't.
I won't have the feels like you did.
You won't. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's funny you say that. When the fight ends and how everything plays out, and how we get towards like the end of the movie, I'm getting emotional here, and like in a good way. It wasn't like oh my god, that was just so bad, I'm getting emotional. It was like it hit me in the feels the way this ends.
Okay.
Being such a fan of Rocky IV and just the Rocky franchise, that I think if you're a fan of Rocky IV, it's definitely gonna get you in the feels. Okay. Especially what they do with Drago. Just, I mean, I want to see Dolph Lundgren come back. I want to see him come back, and even this guy Victor Drago, this guy Florian something. Michael B. Jordan has a phenomenal body, and then you see this guy, and it's just the things he does in this movie, no human should be able to do, which got me. I was like, listen, I gotta at least try to do something, seeing what this guy can do. It's crazy. So this guy Florian, he, much like Drago and Rocky IV. I think he has like 4 lines, maybe 3. Doesn't say much. He's there to be this intimidating guy. This Victor Drago is, except he has these emotional beats, and he's not. I don't think he's like an actor. I think he's more of an athlete. I know they said he was a boxer, but I haven't seen any of his boxing stuff, so I'm not sure how much of a boxer he is, if he's a professional or just amateur. But he does hit some beats here, pretty good. So Creed 2, awesome film. I want to see it again. I think it was phenomenal.
All right, beauty. I want to see it for the first time.
Yeah. And once you see it for the first time, watch Rocky IV after.
Okay.
Because you'll see what certain things mean. Because I can almost see you watching this and see something that happens and maybe chuckle and laugh at it. Because some people did in this when I'd seen it.
Oh, really? Huh.
And
all right.
I can understand how it comes across cheesy if you don't know what that means.
I'm curious.
And even the real life things that happened around that, of why it's. I mean, it's funny how it happens, but in such a good way. So I could see you being like, that's kind of cheesy.
Okay.
When you see Rocky IV, it'll make more sense.
Okay. All right. I gotta check it out. Creed 2. Boom. Bop. Bada bing, boom.
Yes.
I saw Widows.
Okay, what'd you think?
Okay. I'm a lot less passionate about Widows than you are about Creed 2, just to start this off. Just because I don't have too many things to say. But what have you heard?
I heard great things when I had seen early reviews, and then I'd seen I was watching Collider Live again. I seen Christian Harloff and Roxy talk about this film, which I have same taste in movies for the most part. And I heard some things that didn't interest me, especially being busy and I had to pick what I was seeing, that I took that off my list.
Okay. I think you made a grave mistake.
Oh, okay.
Steve McQueen, who directed this, he's one of my favorite living directors, like top 5 favorite living directors. Hunger, Shame, and 12 Years a Slave are all amazing. And
yes.
Have you seen Hunger and Shame? I'm sure you've seen 12 Years a Slave.
Yes, I've seen 12 Years a Slave, which is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the movie that put Lupita Nyong'o on the map?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well, he also made she won an Oscar for that. Yeah. He also made Hunger and Shame with Michael Fassbender, which are a lot more artsy, and they're excellent. Like, he's got a very particular style, and he makes it a little more accessible in 12 Years a Slave. 12 Years a Slave. And I think he goes even more accessible with Widows. It's his most mainstream.
My man John Bernthal is in there, right?
Your man John Bernthal is in there, but don't get too excited because he's barely in there.
Yeah, because I mean, they say it in the trailer. All the dudes die.
All the dudes die, but even saying that, some of the dudes like have more screen time. They have flashbacks and whatnot. I'm not gonna give anything away, but others have more screen time. But John Bernthal is just like in it for about 30 seconds.
When
So
I
don't
seen
get
the
too excited.
trailer, I seen John Bernthal. I was like, if I'm seeing this movie, John Bernthal is the reason why. Like he may
Don't
not
let him be the
like,
reason why. Don't let him be the reason
he's a
why.
very good actor. He's not the best, but everything I see him in, like he may play the same character, but he's so good at that same character.
Yeah, and he has
He's so good.
those
In
mannerisms
Wind River,
in this.
when he shows up in Wind River, I'm liking
So
the
good.
movie. He shows up and he's just
So good.
fantastic, and he
Yes.
plays the same role, but
Agreed.
he's so good at playing
Agreed.
it.
Agreed.
He's so good.
Yeah, that him showing up in Wind River elevated that movie for me too. Like I dug Wind River, and his presence was a big part of that. Anyways, Widows has. Anyways, yeah, Steve McQueen. He's going more mainstream now. I say more mainstream, but that's only like compared to Hunger or Shame. Like this movie isn't NC-17. There's no like very graphic sex scenes. There's no like long shots for like a minute of someone smoking with like really shallow focus. There's none of that. But it still has his style. There's that flavor there. And my God, this is how you make an all-woman cast. This is how you make one of those. This is how you make Ocean's 8 kind of thing. Where that's kind of the trend. Take a franchise, make it women, and then people are all up in arms because really you're just doing the same thing but with women. This is how you do it subtly. It's fair. It's not beating you over the head. My God, the heist. There's a heist in this, and it's so excellent. Holy shit, Viola Davis is incredible. Colin Farrell is incredible. What's the guy from Get Out? What's his name again?
I will look that up for you.
Yes, look up the main person in Get Out. He is so good. This has a fucking stacked cast, and everyone.
So Daniel Kaluuya.
Yes.
Also in Black Panther.
Yes. Also in Black Panther. This is maybe the best he's ever been. He's excellent in Get Out, but this is up there. You have to see it for this cast alone. I'm sure you're a fan of pretty much everyone in it.
I'm a fan of pretty much that entire
Liam
cast.
Neeson is great in this. Yes, Liam Neeson's so good. Okay, it takes a while to really find its footing. You're gonna wonder like where it's kind of headed for the first half, but man, the second half, once where it's going. Well, it knows where it's going, which is most important, and it can take you on some twists and some turns, and it's very much so not predictable. There's a lot of like kind of subplots and stuff going on here and there. They make like who's gonna run the city, like for not even like the whole city, like a district, like the wards, interesting. I didn't realize that was such an important plot line in this movie, but it is. And dude, you have to see it. You have to see this movie. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you're a Liam Neeson fan, I really, this is one of the best things I've ever seen Liam Neeson in. He's not doing the typical, he's not doing his Taken thing. He's not doing the old man who's great at, jumping over fences. He's not doing that thing. He's a lot deeper in this, and his character is one of the most interesting.
Is he deeper than Qui-Gon Jinn?
He's deeper than Qui-Gon Jinn. And it's interesting how they use him because he's one of the people, all the husbands die. You know that, right? It's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
He's one of those. So
Yeah, they say it in the trailer.
yeah, how they and it's also the title of the movie, I guess. So how they do that is how they manage that and also make his character fascinating is impressive. This has been Steve McQueen's passion project for a while. Because they played like this little clip of him before the movie started. They've been doing that more lately, where it's like, "Thank you for coming to my movie. I've been working on this for a while." And yeah, this movie goes places, and it's dark and depressing, and it will really make you think. It's a really excellent movie. It's up there in my top 10 of the year. I would see it. I would see it. I think you're doing yourself a disservice. All right, let's hear it.
When movies play the whole, like, I've been working on this for a while, look at all, like, everything we put into this, thank you for being here. What do you think of those before? Because it's usually before the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I've only seen it a few times. This did it. A Wrinkle in Time did it. I remember that. You know what? I like it. I think it's a cute little thing to do. You get to see some behind the scenes or just understand the people behind it. I think that's important. But I wish they would cut back on the ads that play before it, because it's just one more thing that's delaying the showtime of the movie.
Yes.
So, like, take out 2 trailers, take out maybe 1 trailer, take out some Coke ads or a car ad, and tighten that up.
Those car ads are fucking killing me.
Dude, the car ads.
So many car ads. Because it used to be when you show
it.
up early, they show all the car ads, and then you get the trailers. But now
they put them
trailer,
between
car
the
ad,
trailer, yes.
What?
Or like, there's like, they put like Apple commercials are in there, or Coke commercials. Like, phones, Coke,
crazy.
and cars are all over. I want them to, I don't know. I get you have to make money.
Is it because movie theaters, hey, they're not, doing as great as they once were? They got to pull in other revenue.
I'm sure that's a factor. But like, I don't know.
It's been, because before it was just, okay, here's an ad, I get it. But now they're taking Lucille and they're fucking beating me every time.
Yeah, they are. Fuck. I like, I don't mind it in that I'm supporting the theater. Like, I don't mind paying like $10 for popcorn, because I like that my money's going towards something that I love and I want to see flourish, like, I'm going to pay for your concessions because I want you to do well, because I like the experience. So I get that. But it's like, you got to be careful how much like you shove this down the consumer's throat, because eventually they're going to turn on you.
Yes.
That's just how it goes. Especially with ads. People hate being sold to.
Yes,
including me.
Yes,
including me. Like, I'm not going to buy your fucking Jeep.
Yeah.
No one's going to... Just fuck off.
Yes. I mean, to me, it makes me more resistant to the product.
Yeah. Just like, make tickets cost $1 more. Okay? And get rid of the ads. That's...
Yeah.
That's the model.
And you know what made me disappointed? Because for big movies, I used to always go to Cineplex, but now, because of time, I have a Landmark right beside me, and I just usually go there. But for big ones, I like to go in the AVX. And before, it used to be, we'll show you 3, maybe 4 trailers, like, on your showtime. But now we'll show you, like, 6 of them plus 10 ads.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Okay, yeah, showtime's for 7, but we're starting the movie at, like, 7:40. What are we doing here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I like the whole, like, thank you for being here, this is what we did. I like that.
Yeah.
But what drives me crazy is all the footage they show that's not behind the scenes of the film. What really drove me crazy, I did the Last Jedi, and we're coming up on a year on that Last Jedi fan screening, which wasn't all that different. They gave you some cool little cards and then a video beforehand.
This was the first time you saw it?
Yeah, first time, because it was a 6:00 fan event showing on the Thursday. And I didn't want to wait until 9. I was, I'm one of those people. I have to be at the first showing.
Yeah.
I gotta be. Earliest time, I'm one of those people. So I go to it, especially for Star Wars. And I stayed away from everything except the teaser and trailer. Everything else stayed away from. And then they're showing me so much footage beforehand, and I'm like, fucking closing my eyes. I'm like, I don't see this shit.
That's dumb. Because it's like they're selling it to you while you're already there. That's like the only point to show footage for an upcoming movie is to get you to come see that movie.
Yeah, and
if you're already there, why? No one's leaving. No one's leaving.
Yeah.
So that's weird. Yeah, I remember The Last Jedi marketing when it was so close to the movie coming out, and they were just showing a bunch of stuff. They showed Rey getting Kylo's lightsaber. And they just showed shit like that, and I was like, stop. I didn't want to see this. And I was just I was trying to avoid it, but it just...
You bring up something in there. So Avengers 4 is coming up in like 5 months. And I don't care about a trailer. Like, this is the first time. I don't care. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, I just don't give a shit about seeing the trailer. Not because I don't care. I do care.
I get what you mean. Yeah,
it's coming up soon. At this point, I don't need to see anything, and I know you have to for general audiences. You need that.
Right.
But I've been seeing so many of these. I think I always say of how much I hate these fan accounts, but yet I feel there's so much humor behind them, and unintentional humor. And I've been seeing all these people of like, today's the day. It's coming tomorrow. It's coming on football on Thanksgiving. It's coming out. And I've been seeing this for the past week and a half. And I'm just like, yo, do you guys really care that much of seeing this trailer? I want to see the movie. I don't care what's in the trailer. And when it comes, it comes. It's going to be soon. Kevin Feige said by the end of the year, you'll get one. But I don't care.
Really? He said that?
I don't even know if I'm going to, like, I'm sure I'll see it. I'll watch it when I'm in the theater. But I'm not going out of my way to see this. It's coming up in a few months, and the movie's going to be here. I don't need it.
Yeah, I did that
Personally,
with
I know
Infinity
audiences
War.
need it.
I don't
but I don't
think I
need it.
watched anything for Infinity War, or at least I tried not to.
I watched the the
'cause
teaser
I remember we
and
talked
then the
about
trailer.
it
Yeah.
on here. Yeah, see, like I get the excitement of people who are like waiting for it because like you want to see you want to see these characters you love. You want to see like where's this going, but it also just it's gonna take away from your experience with the movie. Like you're spoiling it for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like you if you really want that payoff that you've been wanting, you got to be patient and you just wait for the movie.
And what are we gonna see? Because I think they have a unique chance to do some new marketing stuff. Of not
I don't know if
necessarily
they will.
anything that's in the. I mean, I don't know if they will, but they have a unique opportunity to
Yeah,
do stuff
they
that's
do.
like you don't even have to show stuff that's in the film. You could film some stuff of the world post snap. We could see all that, but like, what are they gonna show? Are they gonna show? Because here's my question: I assume the quantum realm is gonna play a big factor the way they end Ant-Man and the Wasp. Are we going to that stuff? And are we going to see flashbacks within the trailer to say, hey, we're going in flashbacks? Because if we see any dead characters, that's how we're gonna see them.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I don't
curious,
know.
but I don't care.
I don't know. I think they're probably only going to show characters we know are alive. Hint at how they might bring the others back, and I think that's how they're going to take it. Maybe some quantum realm stuff with how they're going to bring it back. I don't know if we're going to see dead characters. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with what I've thought of this movie has changed so much. I used to think pre-snap everyone's dead. I think everybody's alive now.
Ooh.
I think some of the main crew that's alive now are going to be dead, but then the thing that I used to think Cap's dead, but until Chris Evans put out the tweet, I've totally switched. I know when he put out the tweet, everybody thought, oh, he said he's hanging it up, but it was more like, hey, we rep production. It was emotional all this time. I mean, he never said that he was done. I know the contract is up, but everything I've heard post that, I'm like, he's not dead. He'll be back one way or another. But I don't think he'll be main as he was.
That. I don't know. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I thought he was dead. I still think he might be dead. I don't know. They have like all these new characters they're introducing. They're gonna have to get rid of some of these oldies, I think. I would think so.
Oh, some oldies have to go, definitely. I just don't think as many as we thought.
Okay.
Because the way I look at it, to me, it's not like Nick Fury. Like, as much as I get the comparison, but Nick Fury dies in Winter Soldier, but yet, like, 30 minutes later, he's not dead. To me, it's different because in this reality, everyone's dead. I think they're going to change time, and that's how they're not going to be dead, but yet everybody died. So to me, it's not going to bug me that much because in that reality, they're dead. In this new one that they will set, things will be different. So to me, it's different.
Okay.
I've heard people compare it, but like if it was, hey, I'm going to snap in the middle of the movie, a half an hour, everybody's back. I get that. But if everybody's dead, we change reality and we have some consequences. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. All right.
You know what I'm really missing, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. We're going long.
It was snowing, walk outside, and just the smell, the feel. I'm like, you know what I just associate this time of the year with?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Me too. I'm so upset. Me too.
Like, I walk outside, and just there's a smell, and I think of The Force Awakens.
Me too.
Of Rogue One. I think of The Last Jedi, just from the air, the smell, the look. And I'm like, we don't have that.
I know. It's so sad. You know, and it reminds me of Solo, because I'm like, we had a Star Wars movie this year. It was when it was warmer, and it was disappointing. That feel of The Force Awakens and winter, it's just leaving a hole in my heart.
Yes.
You know, it's that kind of thing. I'm like, no, give me JJ, give me the snow. But yeah, I totally get that. It's sad. It's really depressing. It's crazy how like with just 3 years, like this new Star Wars franchise has solidified itself in our lives and in our hearts. Like we associate it with winter now. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I used to hate winter. I absolutely hated it. And then I'm like, I love it now because I have this to look forward to.
Yep. Me too.
It was always, let's get to December because as much as I hate the cold, I want to get to Star Wars.
For like the past 3 years, it's been like, I just want to get to December, then I can die. So when The Force Awakens in like 2015, I'm like, okay, let me watch The Force Awakens, and if I'm going to die, just let me die after. And it was Rogue One, and then it was Last Jedi. I'm like, if there's going to be a nuclear war, just wait till
Yeah.
after The Last Jedi.
Yes, exactly.
And now it's
Exactly.
like, what do I have to wait for? You know what? What? It's that
Like,
kind of thing. It's sad.
Yeah, I mean, even with all the problems of Solo, it would have done better if it was in December. I don't know how much, but it would have done better. And I mean, I was a fan of the film, but I mean, still no Rogue One, Last Jedi, or Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
maybe that's a part of the reason why I'm not invested in like seeing an Avengers 4 trailer. I mean, at this point, I don't care about marketing stuff. I care about the movie. I used to care about marketing, but now I'm like, can I hibernate until November, December of 2019? I want that.
I'm sure you can. It might cost
it
a lot of
could.
money. I'm sure someone
Yeah,
might
it'll cost money, but
charge you, and you can just like lay in one of those beds and
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, hearing, there's not much I've heard. I mean, there's things you can find of. The craziest thing I heard was they're filming I think in Dubai in some place, and Kathleen Kennedy and JJ, they put out these statements, very just diplomatic, of like, hey, thank you for letting us shoot here. I heard the story, and why I kind of believe it was because it was from a place that has credibility. They had said that there were people were like, hey, I want to go check out the set, so they go there and ask people like, hey, what's going on here? And they're like, you want to check out some raw footage? And what was described in the raw footage it wasn't any spoiler stuff, but things I had heard of what they were doing. And I mean, because I assume you had to have some type of some type of government or like policing just to watch the set,
Yeah.
make sure they don't do anything, to violate the country. So I'm just imagining somebody that has nothing to do with this production, that's some rich dude, because, Dubai, they got their money, of just like, hey, you want to check out something we're doing here, and showing raw footage. Oh, yeah, that was an interesting story. Like, another interesting thing was with the Mandalorian, somebody stole one of the cameras or the
Oh shit.
the hard drives, and they were like, hey, I don't know if we got the footage or did we format it. There was the whole thing of that, and wow.
Oh,
yeah.
that's funny. You know what that reminds me? I watched a video the other day about how they deleted Toy Story 2.
They deleted Toy Story 2.
When I'm gonna tell you this just because that reminds me a lot of this. I thought it was fascinating. You'd probably be interested. Like, about like a month or two before Toy Story 2 was supposed to come out, they had like 95% of the animation done or something.
Okay.
And then, like, back then you used to have to, run commands, type out commands to run a computer and whatever. So someone did that and accidentally ran like a delete command, and everything started deleting. And then they ended up like deleting the whole movie, or like 90% of the movie or something like that. And there was like big meetings about, should we just scrap the movie, delay it? And then like some random person had it on a hard drive at home. So like they drove to this person's house and like wrapped this hard drive in like blankets and like made it super secure and like put a seatbelt on it and took it to the studio. And they're like, we still have it. And it was the most interesting thing I've ever seen. I thought like that reminds me of like someone deleting the hard drive, right? And like fucking shit, is it gone? You have to watch the video on it. I'll send it to you sometime.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I find that curious. Wasn't there a teaser that came out for Toy Story 4?
Oh yeah, and it was just was it the one where they're all like holding hands or something? And
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's.
Yes,
I don't even think it's footage from the movie. I think it's just
Okay.
like an animation thing they did just to promote it. Toy Story 4, it's gonna be interesting because 3 ends so proper. 3 like
I haven't seen 3.
Oh okay.
I haven't.
I'm not gonna. I'm not like super in love with those movies, but
I'm not the biggest animation person. Like, I respect it, I get it,
it's okay.
but it's not my draw.
Yeah, I get that.
But you know what? What's my draw? Come April, we're gonna get a trailer for episode 9. I'm gonna care about that. I'm not gonna watch anything. And in 1 year from now, just thinking, 1 year from now, we're gonna be like 2 weeks out from episode 9.
It's another year though.
Wow.
Dude, it's like, it's crazy. I wish they just put Solo in December, for fuck's sakes.
It would be nice, because even though I would assume, even for you not liking the film, it would have been a nice filler than having nothing.
Exactly, because it's just like Last Jedi and Solo were so close, and now it's this huge gap. Just like, if they put Solo here, I would have been looking forward to something all year, more or less.
Yeah.
And then what happened, and then it's like, okay, now it's a year wait, but now it's like a year and a half or a year and 3/4 or however long it's been.
Yeah, because, hey, I'm looking forward to Aquaman. Yeah, Mary Poppins is there. Into the Spider-Verse is there. But it's not it's not that special
It's
feeling
not
of
the
this
same. Yeah.
big thing coming. Oh, episode 9. I'm excited. I
Me
trust
too.
in JJ.
Oh
I mean,
man, do
I know
ever.
Oscar Isaac has been making the rounds of like, hey, yeah, we've been able to have fun, we've been laid back, we've been able to, improvise some stuff here, and everybody's like, OMG, they're having fun, it's laid back, and they're improvising lines. Oh no, it's doomed. But like to me,
People
it's
are
like,
fucking dumb though.
yeah, I don't think people understand how
Movies are made, or
movies are made and
Yeah.
what improv means. I think when people hear improv, they think, oh, a night at the improv, and they don't
like
understand.
they're picking someone in the crew. Like, give us a topic and a location.
Exactly. Yeah, they show up to set. All right, so JJ, what are we doing today? Well, you know what, guys? There's gonna be a fight with Rey and Kylo Ren. Just do what you want. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's what people think. And like, oh my gosh, they're laid back and having fun. This is doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Because he had said, hey, we're having like so much fun. It's more laid back, and like, we understand the characters and we're doing our thing. And JJ's doing his thing. To me, I'm like, that's exciting. I can't wait. And then you get people,
Yeah.
it's fucking over.
No, I love the
And
sound of that.
To end on something I thought was hilarious, and to more of why I don't think, like, just not to ridicule fans, but just some don't understand how movies are made, is there was a rumor going around that George Lucas was scouting locations for the Obi-Wan movie that he's going to direct. When I heard that, I started laughing because I thought it was funny. And people are running with this, that it was real, that George Lucas is coming back to direct this Obi-Wan film, and he's taking charge, and he's scouting locations. This isn't like, I mean, I understand if I got to go scout a location for a film I want to do. This is George Lucas. You hire people to do that for you. You get pictures of locations. You don't go out and find a location if you're George Lucas. And plus, why would George Lucas sell his company to go to like that? He wouldn't have sold it if he was going to direct. But yeah, people
Right.
They're attached to some things that they don't want to.
People don't
Let
want
go.
like. There was this whole George Lucas Star Wars thing has been weird. Like, people hated him, and then Last Jedi came out. Now people want him back, and now people are like holding on to George Lucas. They want him. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I think you'll find that with most fan bases is that you'll ridicule something when it's there, and then you'll miss it when it's gone.
Definitely, yeah. That's.
But
like
to me,
yeah.
it's just like I wouldn't have wanted to see his episode 9, 10, and his episode 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, because like the reason why he sold it is because he didn't want to. He said it. He didn't want to deal with the shit of
Right.
people. So if he doesn't want to deal with the shit of other people, that means he's not going to make the best product that he could make. So
Yeah.
it's good that he sold it off because
Yeah. No, I'm glad.
saying, like, I'm
glad
done.
it's gone.
Yeah, and I like the stories of prequels, don't like the execution. Even within, like, George is the mind that I love, but at the same time, I love the man, but just not the greatest.
Yeah, like
with things, and
he,
I'm happy with where we're
his
at.
time, at least for Star Wars, is over, and that's
Yeah.
that's how it should be. Like, we just talked about David Yates and Harry Potter. His time should have been over, and now
Yes.
look what's happening. That's kind of what happened
Exactly.
with George Lucas in the prequels. He should be done.
Yeah.
I don't want to see more like Nolan Batman movies. Like, he's made the ones he wants
Yeah.
to make, and it's done,
Exactly.
and it's perfect. It's that kind of thing. It's just like, let the man live his life now. He's done. He has his staple in Star Wars. It's over. Okay.
Yeah. People
That
like
kind of
to
thing.
cling on to what was. And let me ask you a question.
Okay.
In that, so original trilogy comes out, the generation of kids then love it, and yeah, there were adults too, but the generation of the kids took that was their thing. Prequels come out, they're resistant to it because it's not what they knew, it's not what they like. And hey, listen, it was my time, I don't like it, but I also know a lot of people from our time that love the prequels, and they're more resistant to other things because that was their product that everybody hated on. And it just like, it feels like it became the Civil War of what was theirs. You have the sequel trilogy that comes out, and then I think people fail to realize that there's a new generation of Star Wars fans that love these films regardless if you do or don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we always talk about Star Wars.
I know. I wasn't planning on doing it when I was like because I was planning on doing this about a week or so ago, but then I just got busy.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning Star Wars, and then just some stuff came out.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
December. We're coming up on the year, and I'm missing it.
No, I'm with you. I get it. I understand it for sure. But let's. I think we should probably wrap it up here. We're at an hour and a half.
Wow, yeah. I have stuff to do, so I got to get out of here.
Remember that one like 2.5 hour episode we did for the Last Jedi Blu-ray?
Yeah, yes.
That was crazy.
That was a crazy time.
Alrighty, let's get out of here.
Which, hey, you know what we could do just to continue the Star Wars streak going when the 1-year anniversary of Last Jedi comes. Talk about that for another 2 hours.
Let's do it.
Yes.
I might be watching Force Awakens, Last Jedi this month, just to get those juices flowing.
Get the feels.
Yeah, I get the feels. I get the feels from the Force Awakens, like the nerd chills at the end of the Force Awakens, like something.
I don't think I've ever told you this, and I had this conversation with somebody. We were driving to a shoot, and we were talking about Star Wars, and just because this time of the year, and feelings we got from movies. I don't think if you know this do you know what my initial thoughts of of the Force Awakens was?
No, I don't think so.
I wasn't a fan of the Force Awakens when I first seen it.
Oh shit!
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, you know what it was is that Star Wars was coming back. It's a big thing. I was all up in the the marketing, just the feel, and it's back. And it got too much of it was you hear people talk of it's more than a movie. It became too much more than a movie that when the movie happened, a part of me was like, yeah, that's a movie, but I was like in my mind I'm thinking this and that, and it's been so long and we're back. And when I first seen it, I was like it's like sure, but I don't know how I feel. And it wasn't until the third time I seen it that I was like, you know what, I actually do love this film.
I had a completely different experience. I was super into the marketing and everything. I was all up about Star Wars. And then when I saw it, it exceeded my expectations. I was like, holy shit. I didn't know I was going to feel like that. This is like a whole other feeling to me. What is this? It's joy. And I just was so...
I'll tell you one thing that from the moment until now it still sticks is my favorite moment of the movie comes towards the climax is when Rey is reaching out. Well, Kylo's reaching out and then the saber swings to her and she gets it. And then that... that music hits in.
I thought it was going to be Luke.
Still gets me.
Watching it, I'm like,
you know what? And this is the problem with reading leaks. Now, I'll wrap this up because we're going long. There was a photo that came out of this guy who was going to be playing Luke in the movie because there was the Flash Force back of Luke on Bespin fighting Vader. So there was a totally different movie before Harrison Ford's injury. It was a different movie than what we got. JJ rewrote some stuff, reworked it. And we got the movie we got. So
interesting.
I remember in 2014 reading this leak of how there's going to be this battle. They're in this forest and like Han Solo just died and you're going to see this disheveled Luke coming up and like defending, but like he's not the Luke and he's a little like hurt, but they're going to go to the Falcon. They're going to escape thanks to Luke. And I'm not sure how far that got out. But I feel like a lot of people thought Luke was going to get it because of that.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. I'm glad I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was. I remember reading that in art class in like 2014.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Wow, yeah. Force Awakens.
That's
coming up on what, like 3 years?
3 years.
That
Craziness.
just coming up. Yeah, wow.
All right.
Wow.
I'm going to...
Wow. Force Awakens. Let me say, I do love it now.
Force Awakens. I love that movie, yes.
Yes. Let's get close. Get close.
I feel so much closer to you.
Wow, yeah. That's some SMR stuff right there.
ASMR. Oh, my favorite.
Yeah. So, Force Awakens, I'm a fan of. Rogue One, I'm a fan of. Last Jedi,
boom.
I'm a big fan of.
Boom.
Solo, I dig it. I know you don't.
You know what?
But, yeah. What's that?
Remember when we talked about our order of ranking the Star Wars movies?
Yes.
I put The Force Awakens above The Last Jedi. I've been thinking that lately. Oh, I did. Yeah, I stand by that. I was really hesitant.
At the time you said Last Jedi, and I think the next one you said, or maybe that same one a little after you said Force Awakens.
Okay. Well, I was very back and forth. I do remember that now. Yes. Well, the past week or two, I've been thinking this cold weather. I put The Force Awakens above The Last Jedi for sure.
Okay.
And I'm confident with that, and that's where it goes, and that's where it will stay.
My top 5: Empire, Last Jedi, Force Awakens. See, because this is the thing with I'll say A New Hope, but then there's Return of the Jedi, which the third act is my favorite third act of all Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel weird because the third act is my favorite, just any act of all of Star Wars. but at the same time, I think it's on the lower side of my top list, just because of the first two, which I still really like, but compared to the others, not so much.
Yeah. For me, Empire, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, A New Hope, and The Return of the Jedi.
Okay, so pretty much the same, just flipping the 2 and 3.
Yeah. And I confidently stand by that, and then, that's how she goes. And then, it's got,
And hey, we'll see where episode 9 ends up.
Oh, I trust that it's up there. I trust in JJ. Boom, it's 2015 again, 2014 again.
Yeah.
Boom. Let's go.
Hey, 2013. Wasn't he announced in 2013?
Was he? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I believe
probably.
So. Yeah.
This is 2013 again. It's 2014 again. It's 2015 again.
Yeah.
Juices are flowing. I'm ready.
And
See
hey, he's got Chris Terrio as co-writer, which, hey, I know you had BVS there, but hey, you were a fan of.
Yep.
And there was JL there. I don't blame him for that. And he also won the Oscar for Argo. So I trust in JJ and Chris Terrio.
Yeah, I trust, I'm huge. I have a lot of respect for JJ. I admire him as a person and as a filmmaker. So I trust whoever his colleagues are. I trust that he's choosing them wisely, or at least
and he also has this the second unit director. I forget her name, but she's also, it was a big deal that she was the second unit director. I think she's the first female. She's also African American second unit director. Which I know, she's in the group with Ava DuVernay, of directors. So she's there also. They also had the production designer, art director of Blade Runner 2049. I trust.
Yes, we talked about that. Yes,
the only fear I have, which is not a fear at all, because I don't think it'll be, it's just if it's Return of the Jedi, 2.0, which I don't think it will be.
I'm curious to see how they play with we should get out here, but is it going to be a fuck you to The Last Jedi, and is it going to be retconning some of that stuff? How are the fans going to react to this new one? I'm super curious.
Yeah. Well, it'll be very curious of how it's received and what happens retcon. I don't want it to be an FU, because I know people thought Last Jedi was FU to Force Awakens, but the thing is, again, what people don't realize of how a film was made. Rian Johnson his script was getting, pretty much done when they were filming Force Awakens, and he was getting ready to go by the time they end Force Awakens, all press tour. They're filming episode 8. Because of that, there was no online reaction to theories and, whatever may be of what people thought. It's just what he had to see, the dailies that were coming in, and work off of that. So to me, I don't think it was an FU. It's just, hey, Ryan, do your thing. He did it. Mm-hmm. And I know people won't listen, but to me, it wasn't a fuck you just based on knowing the timeline of when he made the film.
Yeah.
If it was 4 years after Force Awakens came out, I can totally understand why people would think that. But because it was pretty much being, the story was just getting polished by the time they were done filming, to me, it was less of an FU.
I get both sides, but I agree with you.
Yeah, to me, if he retcons Rey's parentage, there's wiggle room there. I like the fact that she's a nobody, but what did Kylo Ren say? And people say, was he lying to her? He doesn't know what the fuck he saw. He just saw a vision. He's assuming what he saw.
Yeah.
So he saw people, but hey, let's say they're these bums, but you don't know who those bums were related to, or who we don't know.
See, so where I'm conflicted about this is there's two sides of me. There's this mythos of the Star Wars universe, and I love getting all nerdy about these films, and who Rey belongs to, who her parents are. And I remember The Force Awakens coming out, and I'm being all super nerdy, and then Rian Johnson kind of turns that on its head, but he also makes The Last Jedi all about that, about the failures or the outcasts being the heroes and all this, and
that you don't have to be somebody to be special.
Right. And, it ties into Finn's storyline about their shitting the bed, people fail and all this stuff, and that's kind of what The Last Jedi is about. So on one hand, to retcon that in episode 9 feels like undermining The Last Jedi. On the other hand, it's super nerdy, and I'm down for that, and I dig it. So I'm kind of conflicted. Also, if they retcon it, they still have all those messages in The Last Jedi. They still exist in that film as a whole. Because, Rey still learns from that knowledge, whether it's fake or not. She still understands that, and she still sees, her greatness comes from nothing. It comes from herself, no one before her. So I get that. That's kind of where I'm conflicted, where it's you still have that message there. But as a franchise, you
Yeah.
kind of lose it. I don't know. We're gonna see. I trust that.
Yeah.
I trust that whatever they do, it's gonna be done respectfully and done well.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to see.
Yes, which we got a year to see. We'll get some ideas come April at the Star Wars Celebration. And to me, like I said, I think this is the last episodic film for a long time because, I mean, when I look at just logistics of when they acquire Fox's assets, you have Avatar coming out in December. You have the Game of Thrones guys movies coming and potentially Rian Johnson's trilogy. I don't think there's enough room to have an episodic film. You have all these TV shows coming. I think this will be the last for a while. So do you... Like, if you retcon, do you really need that? Because we still have a Skywalker out there, at least bloodline-wise, with Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious what we do there. He's, to me, he's the most interesting thing of this trilogy.
Agreed.
And I know people like him, just keep him as the villain. I think if you do some type of redeeming or just like... I'm fine with it. Because it depends how you do it. It depends how you do it.
That's true.
From the moment you introduce him, he's conflicted. He still is come Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I know a lot of people looked at Rey closing the door on that relationship, maybe, but at the same time, he's been
interesting. Their relationship is fascinating.
With Snoke, like he said. Doing the thing you needed to do broke you in half. It only made you more conflicted. What does he do? He kills Snoke. So I could see... Because let's say you redeem him. It's like you don't have to fully redeem him. He can just be a guy in the middle. I know people use the term gray Jedi. I mean, whatever. But like what's good and what's bad? I mean, I know things he's done is bad, but I'm curious how you do it because now we don't have Snoke. Do we have Palpatine in here at all? Do we reveal any stuff? Is Kiri Russell villain? Who knows? Who is the the antagonist of this? Is it going to be Kylo Ren, or is this really like OT? It's really the story of the redemption of Vader. Is that Kylo Ren for this?
I don't know.
Or is it just Rey?
I don't have an answer.
Like, well, that's what I love. What the Last Jedi did. Yeah, we'll end it with that, and that's what I love. What the Last Jedi did is it left it open ended for it to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree. The Kylo stuff's most interesting, and I'm curious to see where they take it. Let's end it. We're almost at 2 hours.
Let's get out of here. Wow, it's been a long time.
All right. This has been Jake, and that's been Ben. Yes. And it's been a pleasure talking to you. Find us on all the socials. Do whatever the hell you gotta do, but stay tuned. We always got some more content for you. All right, let's blow this metaphorical popsicle stand.
Ooh, let's do it. I'm blowing it up. Wait for now.